Kia listeners, Let's Learn Sumo. Welcome back to the podcast. Yes, it's been a few weeks. I've been away on a bit of a motorbike trip. I have returned, and there's obviously a little bit of life getting in the way. But here we are. The November Banzuke, the ranking list, has come out. So we'll get into that in a moment. Remember, hit the subscribe button for regular Sumo episode updates. Visit me at Instagram, Twitter or Facebook at Let's Learn Sumo. Leave me a comment, ask a question. It's Banzuke week for the November Kyushu tournament in Fukuoka on the southern island of Japan, the last one for the year of the 6 tournaments. Fukuoka is one of the big cities on the island of Kyushu, and it's a gateway to a lot of great destinations down on that island. If you visit Japan, you have time and ability, get a car. That's the best way to get around Kyushu. Drive around places like Oita, Kagoshima and Nagasaki. There is some incredible scenery to see and, of course, lovely people, very friendly. Anyway, let's get back to the sumo. The Banzuke, as we know, is the all-important ranking list for each sumo tournament. And this one for the tournament starting in just over a week. The ranking committee gets together and looks at the record from the previous tournaments and who made kachikoshi, a winning record, by how much, and who made a makekoshi, or a losing record. Things they also take into account, as we've talked about before, including the rank of the rashiki that each other fight, and certainly if you're Megashira 17 and you win bouts against the higher ranked wrestlers, you might find a bigger than usual promotion like we saw at Tamifuji this time. So let's get into it. No surprises with our ranked wrestlers at the top. Whether they show up in November is the question. We don't know until maybe a bit closer to day one match day. Yokozuna certainly is the one that's in doubt. Terunofuji, he's still being quite coy about his November chances of competing. He has attended sessions on the recent regional tour. He did some light training, but no real bouts. He let guys push him around a little bit. As you might know, his knees are not great, but they seem to have come good. But he did injure his back quite badly in the July tournament. I think it was about day 3. And then prior to September, he found he had some damage to a hip and some floating bone in there, which is somewhat very painful. And the herniated disc in his back was still causing him problems. So it's all conspired to leave him Kyujo for September at that stage. Anyway, I'd rate him at less than a 50% chance of competing in November, and maybe even less for staying the whole 15 days if he does start. I would think he probably won't even bother if he's not up to spec. The JSA, they'll probably give him a bit more time to recover as they really want him back fit and firing. They want a Yokozuna there and they would like him to get to his 10 wins. I'd expect a fitter Terunofuji back in January at that tournament, to be honest. Our Ozekis, well, they're all in good standing now after the September, and they all got kachikoshi records. Kirishima and Takakeisho, they broke out of karaban status with their kachikoshi. And our new Shin Ozeki, Hoshoryu, he's in good standing for November as Ozeki, as he only just got a kachikoshi. So they're all scheduled for appearance in November. No one seems to be injured at this point in time. I haven't heard any rumours to the opposite. Takakeisho, after his kachikoshi of 11-4 and winning the Basho tournament in September, he takes the top spot of Ozeki 1 East. Simply put, whether he deserves it or not, whether we think he deserves it or not, I think he'll be fighting for a Yokozuna promotion this tournament. If he wins, and certainly without Terunofuji there, or gets runner-up, I suspect the JSA will probably promote him to the exalted Yokozuna rank. They're looking for a Japanese person to hit that Yokozuna after all the domination by Mongolians of late. There's certainly some division on that point. He's been up and down for years at Ozeki, winning and going injured and getting karaban, probably no less than 8 times now he's escaped. I think that made it 8 or 9. Either way, he's not stacked up a back-to-back tournament win before. So a back-to-back tournament win, and this would probably be his 5th, I think, if he wins, would certainly put him in the running. I think even if he doesn't win the Basho, if he at least punches out a 13 or a 14 win runner-up, maybe fight off, I would think that they would very seriously look at him as a Yokozuna promotion. I know they spoke about his Henka in the last tournament in September to win the Basho. I don't think they care about that much. It's not that big an issue for the JSA, given he beat Atami Fuji Yotakiri before that. I think they're quite happy as long as he wins. Kirishima, he escaped Karaban, finishing 9-6 in September. He takes the Ozeki West 1 slot. I expect a much more convincing tournament for Kirishima in November. He should be over his nerves, his initial media burst, put on a better show in November. Certainly, it was a little bit sketchy, I think is the word, in September. Not at full power. Hoshoryu, he should be over his nerves. His initial media burst of becoming an Ozeki, I would think he'll put on a better November show. Bit more intensity. He was very lucky to get his 8-7 in September. Certainly 3 wins in the first 9 days was just not good enough for an Ozeki. His intensity and rhythm, I would think, will return with his usual fire. Our Sekiwake ranks, they're unchanged with Daisho on East 1 slot, Wakamoto Haru on West 1 Sekiwake. Daisho, he was in the running for the tournament. He got a double-digit 10-5 and just missed out to Takakeisho on the last day to making the fight off. He seems to have a better understanding of his overcommitment going headfirst in the Tachiai. The human threshing machine, look, he's outstanding to watch when he works, and it's ugly when he doesn't. He's certainly over his broken rib from July, as he showed in September, and he put on quite a performance towards the end of the tournament in September, only falling to Takakeisho, as I said. I see him as Ozeki, and it's only a matter of time. Wakamoto Haru, he was perhaps a bit disappointing for me in September. Despite a 9-6, he got some good wins against Hokuto Fuji, Nishikigi, even Kirishima. He dropped a few that should have been his, and I think just elements of inconsistency in not getting his favoured technique of an outside grip or losing it. I think I was just watching a replay of one of his matches where might have been Shodai. He got a grip and then just lost it halfway through the match, something like that. Anyway, went out Yotakiri. These other wrestlers, I think they seem to know that is the defence, and I hope he's worked on that to improve his diversity there. The human pillow, Kotonowaka, he keeps his spot with a good 9-6 first up on the Sekiwake rank. He showed some pretty good diversity in style. Some people have him pegged as a Yokozuna in future. Komusubi sees 2 promotions and 2 demotions. Hokuto Fuji and Abi both jump up to Komusubi, while Nishikigi and Tobazaru both had not great matches and they fall out of Komusubi. Hokuto Fuji, he got his Kachikoshi with 8 wins, despite a poor back end in September. He only got 1 win from 5 fights at the end. Perhaps running out of steam towards the end. He lost to a few of the lower order guys late in the tournament, but he did face some big names early in the tournament. He came away with a bit of blood on him out of, I think it was Kirishima's match. Abi, our previous Ozeki, he is steadily climbing back up again. He's had some good wins against Wakamoto Haru, Daisho, Kirishima, Shodai, Tobizaru, Ura, and Hokuto Fuji in September, but he lost to Hoshoryu, Takakeisho, and a few others as well, but he did get a 9-6, which is pretty good. His inconsistency from tournament to tournament, that'll be tested again. Now, he is known as the Henka King. I don't think he's overly popular at practicing it, but it still gets him wins. Asaniyama takes Megashira 1 East on the back of his 9-6. He lost to all the Ozekis, but he beat 2 of the Sekiwakes, Wakamoto Haru and Kotonowaka. I had him as favourite for September. He did beat Atami Fuji on the last day to force the playoff, and he did look more experienced, more powerful than Atami Fuji, who's, fairly raw, and I still think he's got the goods to deliver. He just didn't deliver in September. Ura, the acrobat, the smiling baby face, he goes 9-6. He gets us 3-spot promotion to Megashira 1 West. I'm kind of happy about this. I enjoy watching Ura. His acrobatic style, he always gets up with a bit of a smile or a smirk. He knows he's having a bit of fun out there. It is serious for him. I think his big issue, as I've said before, is going backwards out of the ring to avoid a falling opponent. Now, it leaves him open to Shinatai, or dead body exception, yet again in this tournament in September and the one previous. He really needs to find a way to keep a foot on the bales as he goes backwards. But look, either way, he got a good promotion, 3 spots. He'll face some of the big names all the way through this tournament. Shodai, he fell to Megashira 2 East and Meisei Maga 2 West. Shodai gets a 1-rank promotion after... Shodai got a 1-rank promotion from Kachikoshi, so he goes up to Megashira 2 East. Look, to be honest, he was a bit lucky to get it after only 3 wins from the first 9 days in September. He left himself a pretty big job at the back end of the tournament. Meisei, he lost his Megashira 1 spot, dropped 1 rank on a 7 and 8. This is last double-digit win record. Kachikoshi goes back to 2021. That's how long it's been since he's punched out a 10 win. And for a wrestler at Megashira 1 looking to go up, that's just not good enough. He's going to have to start really looking for those double digits if he wants to get up to Sakiwake and certainly Ozeki. Takayasu gets a 4-rank promotion to Megashira 3 East after a double-digit win. He made his Kachikoshi... after his Makekoshi in July 7 and 8, he stacked up some good wins, albeit to some lower-ranked Rishiki until about day 11, and he was running really well, and he lost to some of the more senior guys, Daisho, Hokuto Fuji, and Kirishima. The Hairy Bear, he gets another test of the upper order Magashira after his really good tournament in September. Flying Monkey, Tobizaru, well, look, he drops disappointingly from Komusubi to Magashira 3 West after a 6 and 9. Bit unlucky at times in his bouts in September. I just think he lost a little bit of sideways movement, certainly in a couple of those matches. He did beat Hoshoryu, Kotonowaka and Takakeisho, but only won 1 match after day 8. Really not a great finish for him. So let's just punch through some of these other ranks. Magashira 4 sees Gonayama 9 and 6. Nishikigi, he was terrible at Komusubi at 5 and 10. Just lost his feet, lost his balance, a bit unlucky here and there, but just not a great tournament. It seems to have all gone wrong on him. Magashira 5, Onosho 9 and 6 and rising 4 spots. Pretty good tournament September. Midori Fuji punched out a double-digit 10 and 5. That's his first double-digit since March when he was leading the tournament in, I think it was Osaka. He's found form with his tried and proven techniques for a double digit, so he went back to his usual throws and leg trips, and it worked a treat for him. Some really good matches towards the back end of September. If you get a chance, go and watch Midori Fuji's replays from September. Shononuma, he's down 1 spot on his 7 and 8. Takanosho down 2, 6 and 9. Hokuseiho, he had a really good tournament. He was in the running up to the end, 10 and 5. Just couldn't go to the end. And to be honest, Hokuseiho, he did show a bit of diversity in this tournament, and he was fighting a lot of the lower ranked guys. And I think towards the end of the tournament, as you get those sort of numbers, 10 and 5, they'll put you up against the more senior guys and see where you go from there. And I just don't think he was quite up to that. Kimbozan, quite impressive, 9 and 6. He's up 3. A resurgent Endo, he's up 2, having up to Magashira 8. But bear in mind, he was down as low as Magashira 16 earlier this year. So he's done really well to push himself up. Certainly our Basho contender, Atami Fuji, from September, he is up 7 ranks after his fight-off effort with Takakeisho. Magashira 9, Miyagiryu, 10 and 5, had a really good tournament. He's up 4 ranks. Midakayumi, 9 and 6, he's up 2. Ryuden, he's down 4 on his 6 and 9. Koto Eko, he's down 2 on his 6 and 9 as well. Satanumi, he's up 1 after Makikoshi 8 and 7. Maybe a little bit hard done by there, only 1 rank, given that Ryuden and Koto Eko, but, there's a limit there. Hiradumi, 6 and 9, he fell 3 spots down to Magashira 11. Oho, down 5 spots, 5 and 10, and our poor old Tamawashi, who punched out a 2 and 13 in September, he's down 9 spots. Look, Tamawashi, Obviously, they were talking about him being injured, should have gone Kyujo, but he's never gone Kyujo in his entire career, and I don't think he wanted to change that. Let's see where his injuries go in November. I would think he's a better wrestler than 2-13. There's obviously something was playing on there. Takara Fuji, he's down 1 after just making Makikochi 7 and 8. Tsurugisho, he's up 3 ranks on 8 and 7. So we've got some new guys coming in, a lot of Juryo promotions for this tournament. Magashira 14, Tomokaze, he was Juryo 3, he got a 11 and 4 there and a 10 and 5 the previous tournament. And returning Rishiki Ichiyamamoto, Juryo winner, 13 and 2, a really good tournament. He's first up in 2021 for about 12 bashos, I think, but he put in a few bad performances, got some injury, and that sent him back down to Juryo, so he's fought his way back up, which is good. Ichiyamamoto. Magashira 15, Tohakuryu. I'll have to get used to saying that. Tohakuryu. He's debuting in Makuchi, debut, and he got a 10 and 5 in Juryo. He started around 2019 from Tokyo, 130 kilos, likes a good Hitaki Komi slapdown and Oshidashi push-out. He's got a pretty good record, and he was, I think he's from Tamanoi Bayer, the stable there. He was a national junior high school champion at the Sendai High School for sumo there. Magashira 15 joining him is Churanonumi. He's from Okinawa. He got a 10 and 5 in Juryo. He's had 3 national high school titles, 4 titles in the Nihon University, and he's only the 5th Okinawan wrestler to earn a place in Makuchi. He's from the Kisei Bayer. He likes an Oshidashi and a Yorikiri, so he sounds like a very standard sort of wrestler. Magashira 16, Roga. He's from Russia. He's 154 kilos. He favours a Migi Yotsu, a right grip. Only in Juryo since November 2022. He's had Kachikoshi all the way, 8 and 7s, to Juryo 1 to earn his promotion. He got an 8 and 7. Now down to Magashira 16 West, Nishiki Fuji. Punch out a 5 and 10 in September, a 5 and 10 in July, a 3 and 12 in May. He is dropping down the order in a big way. Something's going on there. Something's not working for him. His last decent score was in March, and that was a 10 and 5. Bear in mind, we were missing a lot of ranked wrestlers in that tournament. January, he punched out a 4 and 11. Nishiki Fuji needs to find something and fast, because if he punches out another Makekoshi, he's off to Juryo next tournament. Our last one up from Juryo, Magashira 17 East, Kitanowaka. He's from Yamagata. He's 150 kilos, likes a Migi grip, a right outside grip. He likes a Yorikiri and a Watanage throw. 8 and 7 in Juryo, but good year. He's had Kachikoshi except for January all year. He's had 5 titles at his Saitama High School, and he was the Yokozuna there. He was the 21st Yokozuna at the school, following a fellow schoolmate, Gonoyama, who was also the Yokozuna at that school. So that's the rank list for the Banzuke for November. Look, it sets up. I'm interested in a lot of these new guys. I would think that there'll be a couple of really good performances there. Really interested to watch probably Tohakuryu, because he likes a Hitaki Komi and an Oshidashi. I think the Hitaki Komi, that'll be an interesting technique for him in the big ranks, the first division. Certainly I'm excited to see Midori Fuji back up in Magashira 5 and back in form. I think we'll have a bit more of a talk about how we think these guys are going to go in the November tournament next week. I'll punch out an episode there. We'll talk about the tournament and maybe get a bit more of an update on who's definitely coming and who's possibly not coming. And we'll look at those matchups as a last look before the tournament starts. Can't wait. I'll see you then. Hakio listeners, enjoy your sumo.